So as a very clear disclaimer before getting into this video, yes, I will be covering very, very heavy spoiler territory. So if you don't want spoilers or don't want to know what happens possibly in the future, then I suggest clicking off the video, because I will be delving into what the Fallen Seed is, or seeds in this case, which of course is the item that Renner was given in episode 2 of season 4 of Overlord. So again, you have been warned. So of course, as you have clicked on the video, you are probably wondering, what is the Fallen Seed? What is the item that Renner was handed to, which is just a cube, as I like to say, what's in the box? And I've made many theory videos way back before future volumes have come out, wondering what the item is. Most of us kind of concluded that it is, in fact, drumroll, a racial changing item, as it is called the Fallen Seeds. And the reason why I use the word seeds is because she has been given more than one, which means one does a racial change. So you're asking the question of, well, why has she been given more than one if she is planning to do a racial change into a demon? Well, take a good hint at who the other seed is for. It is clearly for Climb. And this is something that has been established in volume 14 of the light novels, where of course Renner does do her racial change to a imp. And there is a new character sheet for her, a new art for her. And I've got to say, I really do like the aesthetics that go with her new form change. And of course, she then uses the item as well on Climb to change his racial as well. So as you can tell, that is what is in the box. It is called the Fallen Seeds, or Fallen Seed. And of course, as Albedo did point out in episode 2 of season 4, is that, have you made the necessary steps or are prepared for what is needed for the conditions to open the box? So as you would know, that the Fallen Seeds allows the player to switch racial features to a demon, which of course she chose the imp, and the only way for this item to activate is to fulfill certain requirements. Conditions need to be met, or sacrifices need to be put in preparation. So there is no clear conclusion what the sacrifices were, so we don't actually know what they are definitively, but many of us have speculated on what those are. And I think we can all make a very educated guess on what some of them are. So again, going to be delving into volume 14 spoilers, which of course is to do with chapter 4, well-prepared traps. And the two sacrifices that most fans have come up with is, one, the orphanage. This is something that Renner has very much stand behind protecting. So in the early stages of volume 14, she has a discussion with her brother, and they're talking about the orphanage, which is how she's paying for it with, of course, the allowance that she's been given. The allowance is increased as the other sisters have been married off, and she's using as much of her money as possible and sort of mid-maxing her money to pay to run the orphanage. And as most people know, she is not someone that does something for no good reason. She's clearly doing it for a clear objective. And her brother does mention about possibly recruiting some of the kids and, you know, taking them in if they do show potential and talent. And she shows very much a protective kind of attitude. She's not particularly super keen on the idea of just handing kids over. At the end of the day, she kind of goes, oh, well, if there's any left over, you can have them. Because she uses the excuse of, well, she wants to use a lot of these talented kids to go to her new place, her mansion or establishment, where she decides that she's going to go with Climb, and under this kind of pretense that the brother is going to give her a nice little plot of land and a nice little, you know, bunch of maids, and kind of give her what she wants. You can go over that corner, have that bit of land, live your life out with Climb, and the kids from the orphanage, most of those would follow her there. That is the plan that she's told her brother. But in reality, she has completely different plans that have been aligned with, of course, the Great Tomb, Nazarick, and has been working in cahoots with Demiurge and Albedo. So what the brother thinks and what she's planning are two different things. But when he does mention about the orphanage kids, she does get very defensive and very much shows that she wants to keep them under her influence. And again, as I just mentioned, she doesn't do something unless there's a reason for it. So we do believe the first condition is that she basically sacrificed the lives of the orphanage to feed what was needed to unlock the conditions. The second one is another big spoiler, is the fact that she does in fact kill her father, which is the king. She murders him with, of course, Razor's Edge, and of course that would be possibly one of the other conditions as well, is that she has to sacrifice possibly one of her own kin. Could have been her brother that she could have done, but she does her father. Probably because it has to have probably maybe some sentimental attachment, and even though she doesn't really care about any of them, at least it has like a kind of connection that, you know, it is her father, so that's the sacrifice needed to be made to do so. And plus, at the end of the day, he was getting old. It was an easy one to kind of throw out. So that's the two conditions that most of us do believe. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have read volume 14 and you do have your own theories on what the conditions are to unlock the box, because as again, Albedo does mention that she needed to fulfill those requirements, and at that point in the story, which is volume 10, she does note that she has made the necessary preparations. So it's very clear that things have been put into place. As another note as well, the official English version of the light novels, the seeds are referred to as seeds of corruption, so it depends on if you go based on what fans have translated as the word, which is fallen seeds, or if you go based on the Yen Press one, which is of course seeds of corruption. I think both are just as good in my opinion, because fallen seeds has a nice ring to it, but seeds of corruption also works, being that it does switch the racials to a demon. As I've noted, she does kill her father, but also she does tell Climb to run away with the treasures, hide them somewhere, and then he comes back and Irons is there, and Climb does get into a fight with Irons, which of course Climb dies. He just gets completely whitewashed. Now you're thinking, oh my god, that means Renner can't be with Climb. Which of course they then take his body back to Nazarick and resurrect him. She does what she needs to do his race change, and of course he is now in Nazarick being taken care of by her, and she's very much happy with the outcome of these events. This is exactly what she wanted. Everything played out in her favor, and that is why she is one happy cookie. Even though she is completely insane, she's one of those characters that I personally find super fun, super interesting. But I think most people that have known me for many years of making content, I think most people know that I find really warped characters really fun. Another case would be Damachi with Freya. I really enjoy Freya's character. Freya has many complex emotions. She's not a picture perfect. She tries to do some good things, she tries to be seen in a good light, but there's a much more warped personality that makes for interesting reading and interesting talking about, which is one of the reasons why of course I like Renner, because I think she is just a fun and fascinating character. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. That is of course what the item is, and of course delving into a little bit of the breakdowns, explaining, and of course the analysis. So of course if you like these videos and you want more Overlord, Damachi, Jobless Reincarnation, other content like that, then definitely stay subscribed, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, leave a comment, tell me what you would like me to talk about, whether it's just Overlord, Jobless, etc. Definitely tell me in the comment section down below, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.